2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, escaped a plane crash together with over 100.
Hello, all followers and subscribers of Holy Ghost Son. I hope this video finds you well. Guys, yesterday, it was God that delivered His Excellency Peter Obi from plane crash. For over 30 minutes, the plane lost control. It was over the run. Some persons who were in the plane with him, they've come out to testify. This video is in dictates. Please, some persons are thinking that Peter Obi is trying to play games. Okay, I want you to just watch this video to the end and see how God delivered His Excellency Peter Obi. But please, I want you to help me type at the comment section, say, thank God for the life of Peter Obi. Because as far as I'm concerned, it stands now. As far as the destiny of Nigeria is concerned, Peter Obi is the only hope that we have. Please, let me like the video, give it a thumbs up and watch to the end. Thank you.
2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, escaped a plane crash together with over 100 passengers at the local wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. Well, the near crash incident, which occurred on Tuesday, June 3rd, involved an Air Peace plane with flight number P47123, which took off from Abuja. According to reports, the Air Peace plane was to land at about 1:55 p.m. but landed at 2:25 p.m. with approximately 30 minutes behind schedule. Sources privy to the incident disclosed that for about 30 minutes, the pilot lost control, leaving the aircraft to hover, instilling fear and trembling on awed passengers. A passenger who pleaded anonymity was quoted as saying that it was a nasty experience. The plane made many attempts to land but had to retreat. The passengers were jolted. People were praying and casting out the devil as the plane's destiny was uncertain. At a point, it was as if the plane would crash on many houses. The passenger self-experience underlines the fragile nature of Nigeria and how the natural disaster could plunge the country into a major civil strife or even war. She said that Nigerian leaders need to fix the country and avoid potential causes of disasters like this, which has serious implications for national security. She also said that she almost gave up as the plane hovered and aimlessly between ascending or descending into chaos. She disclosed, and I quote, "Peter Obi was in the plane. Many lost hope. We thought the plane would crash. He was calm and resolute. He was telling people around him to be calm, that all will be well. We thank God we survived. No one would have believed it was an accident if the plane had crashed with Peter Obi inside." Another passenger also quoted. He said while other passengers were in great confusion, Obi was comforting them that they should trust in God. A businessman in the flight, Dr. Benson Onwaji, was said to have summoned courage by standing up to pray for the passengers. As it stands, Obi, who recently donated 20 million naira to flood victims in Niger State, had been visiting some communities in northern Nigeria, after which he returned to Abuja for a scheduled political meeting. He was said to have left Lagos for Abuja that afternoon for another meeting.
Incredible story and a happy ending. The Voice of the People FM anchor cited the flight as Air Peace Flight B47123. Typing the same number on Google shows the flight schedule for Saturday, 7th June 2025. Researching further to get back to the day since this event happened on the 3rd of June 2025, this website, Flight Aware, refers to the same airline as Air Peace 7123. You can find the same number on other websites, so there seems to be a conflicting reference. Some refer to the flight as 7123, while others add P4 before 7123. It seems it's exactly the same flight. And now that we are here, you can see the flight path on that fateful day. Here, it's already approaching the Murtala Mohammed Airport runway to land. It's perfectly aligned, and this time is at the 1 hour mark, as you can see here. It's just around 1 hour. Yes. Now let's move up a bit. So as you can see, right around the time it was supposed to land, something happened. Maybe the landing gears didn't deploy, or it might have experienced something else, and it just flew on the same path and flew away without landing. For the pilot to take this path, it means there was space for him to land. There was no other obstacle, no other airliner trying to land, but he missed landing. And now from this 1 hour time, let's move up a bit. So the circling starts around, let's see, it circled away went back up north and did another left turn. No, not a left turn, and did another turn and started coming back, flew north again. So definitely he was trying to correct something or whatever it might have been. That was why it kept circling north, south, and east, west, then came back again to attempt to land. At this time, it's about 1 hour, 22 minutes. So the flight has spent around 22 minutes in the air at this stage. And it came in, it made another left turn, and now this time it aligned itself and eventually landed. So from the first attempt to when it eventually landed, it took about 30 minutes. So the people on the flight actually timed it perfectly. Going by the testimony of some of the people on the flight, they said they kept circling for around 30 minutes until they landed. Another thing is that what happened to this flight, whatever technical problem it might have experienced on that day that prevented it from landing at the first attempt, so it doesn't seem like it was a serious issue at all, because the flight was in service the next day, being 4th of June 2025. It was also in service on 5th, also in service today, being 6th of June 2025. And as you can see from the flight schedule, it will be in service tomorrow, being 7th of June 2025. So like already said, it must have been a terrifying experience for the passengers. Imagine being stranded in the air with no parachutes. You don't have any hope of landing in one piece, but at the end of the day, they experienced a happy ending. The pilot was able to navigate, circle around, and eventually landed safely. A lot of people are already trying to dismiss this story as propaganda and lies, that Peter Obi is trying to use this to get sympathy, that it never really happened. That was why we researched this and were able to get the flight records on FlightAware. This proves that the event actually happened. It wasn't a fabrication. Also, looking at this story as published by Parallel Facts, they mentioned the name of a doctor who was in the same flight as it was circling over Lagos trying to land. So for people trying to push narrative from this story, it's not really necessary. They can contact this individual and find out if he was truly in the flight and also if Peter Obi was in the flight. Everything shouldn't be politics. There is time for everything. This is reminiscent of what happened to one lady doctor. She was in a train from Abuja to Kaduna, but unfortunately midway into the journey, terrorists hijacked the train and it derailed. The lady was shot, but she still managed to tweet, asking people to help her, that she's in danger. But instead of people to take her seriously on social media, they started mocking her. One asked her how come she was shot and she's able to tweet. So all these aren't necessary. We keep fighting ourselves instead of fighting the people that should be our common enemy. How can people be stealing the country blind and people are busy fighting each other instead of facing the people who are stealing their money? Or is it because it is politics? Is it because the money is owned by everyone, so people don't care because it isn't their money? If it were to be theirs directly that someone is trying to steal, it's obvious what they will do. They will even go as far as delivering jungle justice on the person. But when it comes to a politician who is stealing the commonwealth of everyone, people make light of the situation. Anyway, this is just to show that the near plane crash actually happened on June 3rd, 2025. For people saying that it didn't happen, why would anyone ever think of making a joke out of something like this? More than 200 people were in that flight on that day, but at the end of the day, they made a very safe landing. Thanks for watching.